Alright, please go on mute, and we are going to go to the next level today, and we will understand how do we add the branching component to our data path. We have seen how to trace the data path for R type in the last class, and I explained you this clearly. We used the multiplexers for the first time, and remember, I introduced you with the signals. What are the signals we discussed? We discussed the signals called regwrite, ALU SRC, memread, memwrite, mem2reg. And I introduced you with two important multiplexer usage here, one here and one here. This one will let you what to be sent into the ALU. This one will help you to write back the result into the register. I hope it was clear and understandable, and we are going to go through the next one today, where we are going to add one more component into the versatile data path, which is called the branching. We have seen the instructions like BEQ and BNE. I hope you remember that BEQ is branch if equal, BNE is branch if not equal. Very simple, and I hope you understand what exactly is that. BEQ will compare two registers, say R1 and R2, and if the results are equal, it will branch to a location, say 1000. Branch if not equal is exactly opposite to it. If they are not equal, it will branch to the location 1000. That's it. Now, we need to understand a couple of things here. The first thing is, where do we branch, where do we branch, and how do we branch? That's it. And if we understand that where do we branch, there will be another question which will be aligned to it. How do we calculate the address to which we need to branch? Because what we have in hand is only offset. Remember, what we have in hand is offset, but we'll have to branch to a location. Say 1000 is the location. I'll not get 1000 directly. I would have got only 250. So I need to multiply by 4. So all these things are to be remembered. What do we need to do? We need to first check if the branching is required. If the branching is required, how do we branch and where do we branch? What are all the setup that we need to do in terms of hardware or in terms of the data path model, whatever we have learned till now, in terms of how do we include something is to be learned as well. Now, I have been telling you right from the beginning that the ALU has got only one output, but make it two. The first output is 0. Do you remember? I have been telling you this time and again from the beginning, which means this is going to play a vital role right now, right? I have got two things. One is the result. Okay, this is the regular result. For example, addition, subtraction result will come here, and this one is 0. This is also a result. If the result is 0, what will I do? I get an intimation out of this saying that the result is 0 right now, and what am I going to do is the point. Remember, now the ALU can give you some solid output, say like 12, or the result like 0. If it is 0, it gives me an intimation. If it is 12, it can be stored somewhere. That's it. Remember it. I am using 0 here extensively. This 0 is very, very important. That's what you need to understand right now. Now, what is the inclusion, sir, in terms of the data path? This is the same. There is no change. This is the same. There is no change. The 0 is the only thing that you need to be careful about, right? And remember this every time you need to have it. This is very, very important, and don't forget it. Now, what will happen? We have got a branching now. Now, the branching, if the branching has to happen, if the branching is enabled, branch if equal, okay, yeah, they are equal, so I'll have to branch. Now, what will you do? The question itself, I mean the instruction itself will have some offset. The offset will be converted to 32-bit, and then you can see here there is another option here where we do a shift left by 2. What do you mean by that? You are multiplying by 4. So what do you want? Why do you want to multiply by 4? I need to go to the exact address, so I need to multiply it by 4. Now when there is a branch, this input will get activated, and I will feed that input to one input to ALU, and this is the normal input. PC plus 4 is normal input. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Now we will get the branching address computed. Now let me clear the screen and let me tell you this once again, so that you are clear with the understanding. Now see that I have got an offset here. This offset is converted. I need to get into the exact location. I need multiplication by 4 to be done. For that I do an SLL by 2. So I will do an SLL by 2 and I get multiplied by 4, and the result will be available here. This is the new branch target address. That's it. If the branch is not taken, it will go in a traditional way. Sir, I do not understand, sir. Yes, I know that it's very difficult right now. Let's go ahead with one very simple data path which is going to be versatile also in nature, where we have included all this. I have added some new multiplexers here, but I'll explain you, don't worry. Now let's see how exactly things work here in this data path model, right? I have got, this thing is very clear here. I have got a register file where you can see that RS, RT and RD are available, and there is an offset which is coming here. Sign extension unit is also available. I added a multiplexer here. You can see that this is already made available with me, so no new thing. This is called ALU SRC. I have this multiplexer which is also already available, and this is called MEM2Reg. And one multiplexer is added newly here, which is called PCSRC. What do you mean by this, sir? Very simple. This is going to decide what is going to be the source for the PC. Remember, this multiplexer is going to decide what is the source for your PC, right? So please understand that. One second, just stay online, 1 second. Now if you see that we have included this particular mux here. What do you mean by that, sir? This mux is going to help me out in getting what should be the updated value for the program counter, right? This is 0 and 1. You see that now if there is a branch, the shift will happen here. The updated address will be available here, and it will go on here, and this is the new path, and this will be fed in into your program counter. If there is no branching, remember again there can be two cases, right? If there is no branching, what will happen? I will come over here, I will take this path and I will go on here, and I will simply go through this way. That's it. It's very simple, isn't it? So we have just added one new thing here to support branching. When there is a branching, if the result is 0, I will go ahead with branching. For example, branch if they are equal means R1 will be compared with R2. For an instance, if I get the result 0, this will be 0. Once it is 0, I will take this feed. I will convert it here. By 4 I will multiply. I will feed this input here. This input will be taken back, and this will be the new update for the program counter. Finished. If there is no problem, if the result is available here, I mean if it is not 0, I will take the original path here and I will bypass this totally, and I can go ahead and I can keep updating, because naturally it is added by 4 here, so I do not have to do anything new. I hope you understood what I conveyed, and it is very important. If you have not understood it, you need to let me know. I'll explain you this again, once again, probably a little later, once I explain you with one data path tracing. Now, what did we do? Very simple. I'll go ahead step by step. This is the first part of it. I have got instruction memory available. The instruction comes out of it. I know there are 3 registers which are going to be used based on the instructions. RS, RT and RD are available, and they all belong to a package called as a register file. And in the register file, you have got 2 signals to be used. The first signal is called a register write, and second signal is called a register read or write operation or something like that. And I can read the data out of this. And the first data must go to ALU all times. The second data can come from the offset, I mean the immediate value. So I need to have a multiplexer here, and the multiplexer should be with 0 and 1. If it is 0, it is simple R type. If it is 1, it can be immediate or load word or store word, and I get the result out. If the result is 0, and if the instruction is branching instruction, I need to now convert this into this, and I go on here. I shift it by 2 so that I get multiplied by 4, and this will be the updated address. Here it is 0 and 1. This 1 will get enabled, and I will go on here. This is the new signal that we added here, which is called PCSRC, which says what is the source for the program counter. Remember, this is the new signal that we have added. Now, in case everything is smooth, in case I do not have a branching operation, I get the result out here. And if it is an R type instruction, I'll take the result. I will come here, I'll feed it in, and then I can come back. If it is a load word, I'll have to read from the memory. I read it and I will come back. If it is a store word, I just write it here and stay calm. That's it. We have created a very complex yet a very versatile but easy to use the data path. That's it. Now the question would be very simple. They will ask you to trace the data path for add instruction, and they may give you this in the question. Now how do we do that, sir? I'm going to do that step by step. Remember it. This data path should tell the examiner or the reviewer that these are all the components that are going to be used, and this will be the way things will be used. It is for add instruction. What is add instruction all about? It is all about R type instruction. So this one will be enabled, this one will be enabled, this one will be enabled, and I'll have to use this also. And this box will be in picture. For sure, this is there for everything, so I need not highlight it separately. Now I read the content from first register. I read the content from second register. It is an R type instruction, no other complications. So let's ignore 1. Let's go with 0. I feed this as input. The ALU will come in into full action. The ALU gets me the result. The result is available here. This box is no way coming into picture. So I'll ignore it and I'll come here. I'll come here and I'll go via 0. This is mem to reg and I'll go via 0. I'll get back here and then I will go ahead and connect it here. I need to update this. These components are getting used every time. So anyways, it's better to put an update here. This is okay. And here we need to say how it goes. The program counter comes here. It goes on here. This is all used. I'll come here. There is no branching, nothing happened. So I can skip this entire module. I'll take this path. I'll come here. I'll go via this. I'll take this. I'll come back and then I will update it properly. That's it. We have drawn, we have traced the path nicely for add instruction. That's what is present here. I'll clear the screen so that you can see it once more very nicely. Now see that this is what I have drawn. I tried to draw. I had a lot of time to draw this when I prepared the PPT, but now since it is a regular class, I do not have time to do all those. Now see that the first path is here, which means I ignored this totally. This is not in picture because it is not a branching instruction. At the same time, whichever component I have used, I have highlighted it all properly. And remember, whenever you are asked to trace this kind of things, I have put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? You need to write 1 as reg write. You need to mention that very clearly, otherwise it's going to be a problem. Reg read. Mention the names of the signals without which you will not be evaluated. ALU, SRC. You need to mention whatever numbers you have put in here, otherwise you write the signal name itself here. That's very important, right? Whenever you do that, it's very important to mention what is the name of the signal. Do you understand this till now? Is there any doubt? Alright, it is time for us to now trace load word. Load word we all know, right? I explained you very clearly some time back. And load word, how does it work? We are going to load some content into register from memory location. So we are going to take content from the memory location, we are going to load it into the register, and we are going to compute that address also through ALU. Now can we go ahead and highlight that path? So anyways, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to write this for sure. And I have got this. And I'm going to now come here. I'll go here. Now I'll go via this path. And I'll take this. Now I would have calculated the address. I read the data from the address. And I take it back. I come back. And I write it here. And now for the ALU updates with respect to PC, with respect to PC operation, I'll take this path, I'll go here, I'll come via here, I'll simply skip and go back, and this is the loop. That's it, we have traced the path for load word. Let me show you the original picture that I have drawn, it will be much more neat. That's it. It's easy, right? So remember, this is how we are to trace. And please do not touch anything which is not relevant. Please avoid touching the boxes which are not relevant to you. That is damaging. If you touch even unnecessarily, that's going to be damaging. Make sure you mention the names of the signals properly, which I have not done here because in the first slide I have done it. You can see that here I mentioned it very clearly right in the first slide. But don't ask me, sir, why did not you do it? See that here. It is already done very clearly. So likewise, I want you to do it and make sure you remember to do it. If you forget to do it, it's going to be a problem. Till now, are we clear? Now we are going to go with the store word. With that, I'm going to stop this and we are going to the next level in the learning. And I'll give you some exercises for this which you will have to do. Store word all about, this is the reason I'll have to write. Otherwise, you will forget it even in the exam. We need to compute the address first. So how do we compute the address? Simple. I'll have to have the content from one register and the offset. This is what I missed. And I have some register where I have some value available, and this value has to go into the combination of these two. So what will we do? I'll take this, I'll take the offset, I'll combine them here to compute the address, and address is available. The data that I'll have to write in into is available here, and I'll have to push it. You can see that here I'm taking a bypass here. I push it into the right data. That's all. I think I collapsed it a little bit in the previous attempt. Now is it clear? Is it clear now, all of you? I make the address calculation with RS and the offset through ALU. I get the content to be returned into the address through this signal. I'm going to send it here, and that's all I write it. And this path remains the same. There is no change. So store word is all done. It's easy. Store word is all done right now. And what we do is we compute the address first. Address is computed. And then what do? Is we write the data from one of the registers into this computer location, and that's what we do. That's it. It's very simple. Now the most important component is yet to be seen. How do we trace the path for BEQ? Right? This is the first time we trace the path for BEQ. And how do we do it? Very simple. We are going to understand how branching works first. R1 and R2 will be compared. R1, R2 will be compared. So when they are compared, if the result is 0, which means they are equal, right? This is the way they are compared for getting equal. Now what do? I have got the first register. I've got the second register. I read the data from the first register. I read the data from the second register. I compare it to the ALU. It is 0. Branch if equal, which means branching if the indication is branching, if the instruction is branching, and if the result is 0, I need to forget this path. I'll have to come here. There is an offset associated with it. It is now converted to 32-bit as appropriately, and then here it gets multiplied by 4 through SLL by 2, and this path will be taken, and you can see that this path, the traditional path, is ignored, and we get it updated here. The new address is computed through this process. The new address is computed through this process, and we get the new address updated to the PC to where it will branch. That's all. This is the new inclusion, and remember it, whenever there is a branch if equal or branch if not equal, this result will be appropriately seen, and based on that I'll have to choose this path, and then I will get updated, and this part is now enabled. Last time it was not enabled and we bypassed it. We chose this path, and this time we are not doing that. We are using this path which is required for branching. Now I have an assignment for you guys, so please remember, I want all of you to try this out in your note.